Hello! Welcome to episode 4 of HutchCast Live. I'm your host, Zach Hutchins, aka The Gaming Hutch. This week I'm joined by the Ayatollah of the Controller, Mr. Jay Spaldridge.
Baby!
And that guy who dates my sister, Mr. Tim Hayes.
True story.
True story! Alright, we have a lot to get to. Episode 4 here. There has been so much news. It's been 2 weeks since we got together. We did skip an episode last week because the Super Bowl was happening. So
Shouldn't have skipped it though. That game was pretty boring.
Oh my gosh, we probably could have podcasted through the episode, and more people would have come to watch.
Defensive games are great.
Oh, I'm not. I can respect the game for what it was, but my land, it was boring.
It had that hold of there, almost for the entire game of the Panthers look like they're out of it, but they're literally 1 or 10 points away. It could have happened at any point, and it could have flipped. So I really like the game.
But the offense, it never even showed a spark.
Those defenses,
it never even showed a spark.
Broncos defense was crazy. It's crazy good this year.
Yeah, Broncos brought it, and they pretty much just put Carolina in their place. I feel really bad for Cam Newton.
No.
I also think
that guy's a douche.
No way. I think all of this stuff about him after the game, he's a competitor. I think people just need to leave him alone. Let him get on. He'll come back next season and he'll be great again.
But it's not even about this game, other games. He's just everything. A total douchebag.
He's a douchebag.
Oh. Whatever.
Like I said, I wouldn't care about the poor because I'm a poor loser also.
Sure.
Competitiveness.
Yeah, so am I. I get competitive
he
every
wins.
week.
He's such a douche about winning that when he loses, he looks like even more of a douche whenever if you're going to deal it out, be able to take it too.
Sure.
That's the biggest thing with me. I don't care that he got mad.
Hey, spot the Cam Newton fan. Found him.
I've always I think Cam's a competitor. Don't get me wrong. I understand why people kind of hate him. He does throw a fit. That little thing he did at the end of the game when Denver scored the last touchdown it was a little just embarrassing.
Did you see the awesome meme?
Oh, everybody did. Everybody did. It was pretty awful. But let's move away from the Super Bowl. It's in the past. We now have to cry for the next 7 months before we get to see any more football.
Hey, we have free agency next month.
That's true. Yeah. It's so sad. Football season's over. You have no idea how terribly sad I am. But we need to get on to a bunch of the other entertainment news that has been going on. So much have happened in 2 weeks. We're going to just touch on some of the major things. The first thing that has to happen is we got to talk about Deadpool. It just came out February 12th. I saw it today. Tim, when did you see it?
I saw it today as well.
Saw
it on Friday. And it was awesome.
Yeah,
I freaking loved this movie. I'd like to hear what you guys have to think. Tim, you're the one that saw it first. What do you think?
I just liked how he was kind of making fun of all the other superhero movies he did, like the Green Lantern card in his wallet.
Oh my god!
And then the little throwback to that Deadpool that was in the Wolverine movie. I can't remember. It was so
They made fun of that a lot.
They did.
Yes, they did.
And it's awesome.
They constantly breaking through the fourth wall. Man, I don't know. It's just I don't want to give anything away, but
it started for me even right away in the credits. The credits start rolling, and one of the first things is it's produced by a bunch of asshats, and it's just these hilarious credits rolling through that have nothing to do with the actors. It's not real people's names. But it was absolutely hilarious, and that just started off the movie for me.
Yeah.
And then I didn't stop laughing from that point on.
It was great.
Yeah. What'd you think, Jace? Other than it was great.
Like I said, I'm not a big comic guy. I'm a fan of the movies though, and going into this one, watching the previews, I was like, okay, I know Deadpool talks a lot. That's what Deadpool is. He talks, and but even on. I just didn't know if he's going to talk too much during it, because my brothers are like, that's what Deadpool does. He talks or whatever. But I'm like, you know what? We'll see. I'm a big Ryan Reynolds fan. So just hearing him the whole time and just watching it, like I said, I got into it. It earned that rated R rating, which was pretty fun.
Yes, it did, which was
amazing. In a superhero movie.
Yeah,
Stan Lee cameo
oh my god,
so good. The Stan Lee cameo, solidified it, and I think it was really cool that he hammered away the word mutant like the first time. Like he said mutants or whatever. I was like, oh, because it's a Marvel property.
Yep.
You can say mutant, not whatever they say in the X-Men movies. I don't even fucking know.
Well, in the
But-
X-Men movies, they can say mutant, but in the Marvel movies, like the Avengers, they cannot say mutant.
Yeah.
So Scarlet Witch and
I didn't know
Quicksilver,
that.
they
yeah,
cannot
okay,
say
yeah, it's
mutant
the other way around.
because
Okay.
Fox is the one that made this movie, which does
Fox is the
X-Men,
mutant owner,
and they
yeah.
do Fantastic Four, and then they did this, which is funny because most of their other movies suck. And most of the Fox movies, to me, suck, except for the newest X-Men movies.
Mhm.
But most of them are awful. This one was amazing. This is, to me, the first major hit that Fox has gotten right.
Yeah, and it's making shit tons of money on its opening weekend too.
What is it, already over 120 million? Which
Oh shit, I have no
was-
idea.
The largest they say the largest R-rated movie.
Yeah, the largest R-rated release ever.
Which is gonna
for
say
opening
something
weekend.
because I know a lot of when you're taking like Marvel franchise and stuff like that, people are hesitant to like get that R rating because it's like, oh, we're gonna lose a lot of money because we're alienating certain part of whatever like the fan base. But
Yeah,
The kids
I
and
think-
the toys and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
right, but from here on, I think we're gonna see quite a few more
Yeah.
like R-rated movies.
I don't know if we will because that's what Deadpool is. Like Deadpool
It is.
filthy,
but I mean-
dirty, and I mean the rest of them are already established as
Yeah.
not
but
R-rated.
but if you can pull this movie off, they can now turn around and think, can we pull off the R-rated Wolverine movie? Can we do it? Can we actually have this amazing film where Logan is just ripping people apart and it's super bloody? Because that's what we've all wanted, and it's never happened. And that's when you bring back Sabretooth, and that's when you have Sabretooth destroying people and killing people and blood everywhere, and it could be awesome. So if this could be successful, I think it just opens doorways to allowing some of their other bloodier characters
Mhm.
to have
Like I said, maybe.
sweet R-rated movies. I think that would be
I,
great.
I wouldn't be against it, but I can go to any movie I please. So
Right.
That's Suicide
that's a great
Squad.
point.
Is that PG-13?
Man, I don't know. That's
Good
That's a
question.
great question. I might actually be able to pull that up. Nah, I don't have it. Pulled
It
up.
might not be.
But I'm glad you
I feel
pointed
like,
out though about. I really
like
feel like this movie was for the fans, and I think it really shows. If you go look at Rotten Tomatoes right now, Deadpool has an 84, which is a great score for Rotten Tomatoes, which can be a very harsh site. To kind of give like perspective, Star Wars is still sitting at a 92, but The Revenant, which is these Oscar-nominated amazing film, has an 82. So Deadpool is still 2 points higher than The Revenant, which is Oscar-nominated movie or whatever. But what I think is funny is that if you look at the average critic rating, it's only a 7 out of 10. But if you look at the average just audience rating, it's at a 96%. It's a 4.6 out of 5 approval rating, which really shows that it's the fans that are really loving this movie. Critics think it's good, don't get me wrong, but I think the fans have really attached themselves to it. I think we were waiting. We were waiting. We were waiting
and
for
it's
this.
different. Like it's not your typical superhero movie because Deadpool isn't your typical superhero.
Right.
Yeah,
and-
he's straight up murdering dudes, and he's talking about it too.
yeah, and he
Straight up.
thinks it's hilarious. He is an absolute anti-hero, which let's get some of your perspective on some of the other characters. I don't think we should get too spoilery, but I think we can talk character-wise. What do you guys think of Colossus?
He's the only one I didn't like in the movie. Is
Yeah.
fucking stereotyped Russian, like clipped English. It was just like, dude.
Dude, it's perfect. It's
I was gonna say,
perfect.
but isn't that what he is?
That's exactly what he's supposed to be. I'm so happy they finally made him that stereotypical Russian again. That's what he's supposed to be.
See, I didn't. The thing with me, it bothered me a little because in the X-Men movies or whatever, he can turn into the Colossus, right? Into
Right?
the
Yeah, he goes.
Yeah,
on.
he goes in and out of it.
And the whole movie of this, he's the Big Tin guy, even when he's back at the mansion.
That's
Even when he's
fine.
sitting in the cab, like drinking a juice box. He's
Yeah,
like,
and I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah,
You know,
but
it's not about him, so
exactly. So it's like, what's the point of showing human Colossus? Just have him be transformed the entire time.
And they even point out like the ridiculousness of how it's set up with the X-Men anyway.
Yeah,
"Is
which
it
which
this
set
big
up
house.
which set up great jokes. Which I mean, come on. Some of those jokes were just absolutely gold. And the banter that happened with um, Colossus, Neo Mega Teenage Warhead, and him were absolutely freaking hilarious.
Is she a real character?
Yeah.
Like, from the universe?
I think she absolutely
She
is.
actually called
Neo Mega Teenage Warhead. That is her name. And she's awesome. She's hilarious. Like, I loved her. I thought she was absolutely, like, she was perfect. She fit the role. She played the character exactly what they needed for that movie. I thought she was fantastic.
Well, the opening credit for her was Angsty Teen.
Yeah, Angsty Teen. And that's completely what she was. So, come on. I thought it was perfect.
He was a CGI character.
Yeah. I'm really excited, though, to see what they can do with Deadpool. I'd really even be excited to see if they end up having Deadpool move in onto the X-Men universe, because I really think that could make it for some interesting shit if you have...
You stayed through to the end, right?
Oh, yeah, I stayed through the very end credits.
So, like,
yeah.
Cable's going to be coming in?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah,
we'll see if that's real.
Well, they've already announced that the 2 is already in pre-production. So.
Yeah, they did. I hope then that they pull through on that, and Cable is going to be the real character that's in that.
That'd be a cool character.
Cable's pretty boss.
Technovirus and all that.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I think though that
it's cool.
Yeah, we're gonna end up having to move on a little bit from Deadpool. We have a lot to cover, and to kind of segue into that, 2016. This is the first year that all of these major superhero announcements. It's hit full head of steam in 2016. There's so many superhero movies, and 2016 is kicked off with Deadpool. So we just had Deadpool released on February 12th. The next superhero movie we're getting is Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. It comes out on March 25th, and this last week, during the Super Bowl last weekend, the final Batman vs. Superman trailer dropped, and we all got to see the final glimpse we're going to see before we actually see the movie. Did you guys see the trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jace, did you happen to see that Batman trailer?
I saw that, and I thought maybe there was something else, and but yeah,
it is a week old at this point. It's a week old.
I guess I watched it. I watched
trailer.
all the commercials, so
yeah.
How many trailers do they have? Like 3 total?
I don't know the exact number, because when you talk about TV spots and what they refer to as just teasers, I don't know. It adds up, but there's certain ones they refer to as actual trailers.
Yeah.
Well, I bring it up because I think that they should have had this one as like the last trailer, which they did, but then not had the second one. Because this last one, revealed a hell of a lot less than the last full trailer they put out.
It did. It almost feels like this trailer and the last trailer should have been swapped, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And then just gotten rid of that other one. They revealed too much. Because you're going to the movie, you know exactly what's going to happen. I know exactly the pacing of the movie. Oh, they're going to fight. They're going to come together to face this threat. This person's going to come in. They're going to do this.
Sure.
Done.
Yeah, I can see that. I hope that the movie surprises us. I think there's a lot of things that the trailer they think they have shown. We think we've seen a lot about this movie. I get a feeling that this movie is super jam-packed with shit, that there's going to be a ton more in the film, and really this is just a movie paving the way for all of the other junk that the DC universe is going to start throwing at us, because you're going to see
Aquaman.
Yeah, you're going to see Aquaman in this movie. They've barely started showing us Wonder Woman.
He's in this movie?
Yes, he's going to be introduced in this movie.
This movie introduces like 5 new things.
You will see Jason Momoa. You will see Aquaman in Dawn of Justice.
Wasn't there another one? Aquaman.
Yeah,
there's going to be the Flash, but I don't know if he's going to be
There's a couple other ones, but I don't know their names well enough. Because again, I'm not a comic guy. So
yeah, and then there's also going to be The Rock. Well, his character's not confirmed for this movie, but he's playing Black Adam or Shazam. But I think he's Black Adam specifically. Shazam is like no. He looks like Superman, but he has a lightning bolt on his chest.
Oh.
I mean,
classic DC.
Yeah.
Shazam?
So there's going to be all of those characters, but you're going to see Aquaman very specifically. So there's so much. I feel like there's so much that will be introduced, and we're really only going to get a very small tidbit, because I feel like this is just an introductory movie. There's like nothing is going to get wrapped up in any way for any plot line. It's going to introduce 10,000 things and wrap up nothing, and it will be frustrating as hell. I think we're going to be frustrated. Yeah, that's my opinion on the final trailer.
That's very well.
That felt I felt like I just got angry at it. I thought I really liked it until I just ranted. I was gonna say that I thoroughly enjoyed the trailer. I thought the trailer was a lot better than the last one.
Said I don't like trailers, so
Yeah, you're not. I'm actually very surprised. I'm proud of you. You went and saw Deadpool, Chase. I'm glad you
Why's
got
that?
up because you just seem like you're not a huge movie guy. So if like
Actually, you've said that you're not a huge
you
movie
said
guy.
you're not a huge movie guy, so I'm proud that you got up and you went and saw Deadpool opening weekend.
I'm
'Cause
just glad you got up.
I had I had to
No,
I had to
I've
drag
been on
my
the
wife
road all
to it.
week, so
Yeah. Well, that's the Batman vs Superman trailer. It didn't reveal a whole lot more anyway. It was a
so
lot of
maybe
stuff
that's
we'd
why I
already
don't
seen.
remember. I don't remember seeing it because I think it's just rehashed
Yeah.
footage for the most part.
For the
right?
most part, it was. There's a few little things that were different. A few little things
Batman
they added.
fighting was the new one.
A Batman fighting, like brutally beating up some guys at the beginning
Oh,
of the
okay.
trailer.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah,
Someone
it
tweet
looks
that.
very Batman Arkham game. Like it looks like the Arkham game when he is beating up these people. I actually was very intrigued by that. I thought it looked awesome.
Well, I think he looks like the Arkham game Batman. So
Yeah.
because he's fucking jacked.
Yep. I have full faith in Batfleck. I
Yeah.
think Batfleck is going to be awesome. I don't think the movie's going to be great, but he is going to be perfect.
Yeah. See, I'm excited for the Batman stuff because they're gonna. I like the other Batman stuff, but I thought Man of Steel was garbage, and so I have no faith in Superman as a superhero anyway. He's
Yeah.
like the most
I
boring,
don't like Superman, but I like
most
that movie.
boring freaking character ever because he
I-
can do everything.
No,
All right, I do agree with you on there. And I know Zach's a huge Superman fan, so here it
love
comes.
Soups. I love Soups.
Like I said, and that movie is awful. Man of Steel. I've tried. I watched it in the theater, and I fell asleep. I tried watching it at my house. I fell asleep. I have watched the whole thing, and I'm just like, this is garbage time.
I will not
Really?
try
That's
and
cool.
defend Man of Steel. I will not try and defend Man
I
of Steel.
will.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Because
pretty good.
the beginning of the movie is great. Everything that happens on Krypton I thought was awesome. Then it just gets stupid. Kevin Costner's stupid. Diane Lane has how many
Costner's in there for like
No, yeah, the
5
Kevin
minutes.
Costner
and she
character
has
is
she has
dumb.
she
It
has
makes
how
no
many
sense.
lines in the movie, and pretty much she could have had one scene where all she said was, "You're destined for more, Clark. You're gonna have
That
to
movie
make
tried to do way too much.
you're destined for more things, Clark. I love you, but you're not supposed to just be on a farm." She said the same thing over and over in every scene she was in. It was annoying and she was pointless.
She
as
wasn't
Martha
in that many
Kent.
scenes either. And
But
what's
that's
wrong
the
with
thing.
Kevin
But every
Costner?
scene she was in, she had the same line. She said the same thing every time you saw her. Go watch the movie again. She
And
has.
And
she just
Costner's
repeats
fall made
herself.
No sense. Like there was no need for him to sacrifice himself in a tornado.
Oh my! Yeah, exactly. That
Absolutely
made
zero need for that. Like that was so dumb.
and having him die in a tornado. Why? Why? What
There's a little alarm.
is
Oh,
the
Clark.
point? What is the point?
Mm.
They set up the fact that he has
That
a
was his
weak
easy
heart
way
for
out. He
a
hated
reason.
his
He
life.
has a weak heart. He dies a very simple death, and Clark can't save him. He could have saved him because it's
Yeah.
a fucking tornado. He can run really fast.
He could have not walked right into the tornado too.
That's true. They were driving towards
He
it. Wait,
basically just gave himself up. Like
Yeah.
I'm with Tim. I think he just hated his life.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Okay. Well, we need to get away from Batman. I'm gonna run through though. It's very interesting to see. Yeah, we got away from Batman there onto Superman, and that. What I also kind of feel Man of Steel is garbage. So I love the beginning of it, but that's why I have little faith in Dawn of Justice. Anyway, later this year, 2016 is the first sea storm of superhero movies. We have March 25th is Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. May 6th, Captain America: Civil War. May
Oh,
20,
shit, that's
May
amazing.
27, same month, X-Men Apocalypse. June 3, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Out of the Shadows. We have to talk about Ninja Turtles for 2 seconds before I move on, because during the Super Bowl, they had a new trailer for Out of the Shadows, and it revealed that Krang is going to be in freaking the new Ninja Turtles movie. That is cool.
There's a lot going on in that movie.
There is.
Yep.
There's less going on in this movie, though, than there is in Dawn of Justice. So,
You think?
perspective, right?
Okay, so I got a question for you about the new Ninja Turtle movie.
Sure.
Bebop and Rocksteady.
They're awesome.
So, were they transformed like from just like regular dudes?
Totally.
Like okay, I assume so, but I didn't know their backstory.
So
yeah,
like
that's why they're like thugs and stuff.
yeah, so
Because I thought that they were like other animals.
they
who
were
kinda got, like-
they were thugs that were like genetically crossed with a warthog and a rhinoceros.
Right.
So it turned them into mutant animals.
Okay.
Which one?
But they were humans too.
Rocksteady's
first.
the Rhino, right?
Yeah, Rocksteady is.
All right,
the
you know who
Rhino.
plays human Rocksteady in the movie?
No.
WWE's own Sheamus.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, is that what he was doing when he's been hurt?
He did it a year and a half ago now, or whatever.
Is he even back?
winter.
Is he able to wrestle right now?
Well, he's been back since March, but right now he's hurt. He
Okay.
got hurt last month. But
Always hurt. All the stars are always hurt.
they're all hurt right
We'll
now.
get to wrestling in a second. We can bring up Sheamus there.
This is a Michael Bay movie again.
This
right?
it's another Michael Bay one.
Is-
Michael
is
Bay
it?
is he's producing it. He doesn't
Okay, I was
direct
gonna
them.
say I thought he was just producing.
Yeah, we'll get to even more Michael Bay news later also. So we'll
Okay.
keep moving on though.
We have
I did
to.
have to throw out there though, Krang. That's freaking amazing. That's so
Krang.
exciting. Oh, Krang. Come on. That's
I could have
amazing.
sworn the one scene when on the water is the same scene from the first one when they're going down the
Down
cliff,
the- down the
mountain
cliff
with
with the-
snow. I'm like, this is the same
It's-
scene.
Yeah, totally it is.
But you know,
We'll
I never
see.
watched that. I
Well,
remember.
yeah, it's very similar. Okay, so after Ninja Turtles on August 5th, we have Suicide Squad. I think everybody's excited for
that's
that.
still that far out. That's in August.
It's August, yeah.
Damn. Okay.
That's the gap from end of May to August.
Yeah. And then I don't know if these ones are still slated to come out this year. I'm seeing October 7th is the Gambit movie, but I don't know if that was true.
Ooh, who's
And then
Gambit?
Gambit, there's
that's
the cards
Channing,
on that.
that's
No,
Channing,
I'm sorry. Who's
Channing
playing
Tatum.
Gambit?
Oh,
And then on
Channing
November,
Tatum.
I
wasn't
have-
that just
Is
rumored at
Gambit?
the end of like last year?
I don't know. Maybe because this is a recent article. This
Because-
article is from February 9th, which is only
Okay,
less than a week ago.
I got you.
And then they're also saying November 4th is the Doctor Strange movie with Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's
Okay,
gonna
see,
be cool.
I know Doctor Strange is supposed to come out this.
Yeah. That's so.
'Cause even that-
Holy
that-
shit, though. That is a storm of movies.
I was gonna say
so
that's
many
it. There's
superhero
more
movies.
than that coming this year
No, things
The
pushed
superhero
into next
movies?
year. There's supposed to be a new Wolverine next year.
because there's
Guardians
a Thor.
2.
There's a Thor this year, isn't there?
Thor is
There's a Thor in
2017.
November.
It's 2017. It's 2017.
Is there not a Black Panther this year?
No.
That's in the Civil War. He's in there.
Yeah, he's in Civil War, but his own movie is not supposed to come out until 2017, 2018, I think. These are the
swear.
first big ones.
That's only like 7. I
Yeah.
thought there was like one every month.
Still though, that's an insane amount of movies, even if it's one every other month. That's a ton of movies. I didn't see that many movies in the theater last year at all, and every single one of these I'm pretty much going to have to drag
also
myself
isn't
out to.
the Aquaman movie coming out this year?
No,
I haven't
definitely
heard shit
not.
about that one.
Definitely not.
Mm,
Aquaman is 2018. 2018 for Aquaman.
2018?
Totally.
Are you guessing?
No.
You throwing it out there.
No, man. I'm
You throwing random shit out there, Zach?
No, I'm looking at
IMDb
production stuff
says
right
20.
now.
Okay, whatever.
I'm looking at stuff right now, written only 5
We don't
years
have-
ago.
We don't have time.
We don't have time. We don't have time to argue.
I'm
it.
gonna
But anyway.
trust your article from 6 days ago.
Fair enough. So yeah, that's all the superhero news. That's a ton of superhero news.
Pretty stoked.
But we'll go back to wrestling. Wrestling had some sad news that happened this week. This week on Raw, on Monday Night Raw, out of nowhere in Seattle, Daniel Bryan announces.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, everybody had wondered when Daniel Bryan was going to come back. He got a whole bunch of concussions really fast, had to sit out for a long time, has not been given the clear by the WWE doctors. Now, what's interesting to note is he's been cleared by all of his personal doctors, but the WWE doctors will not clear him. So pretty much what happened is he's been forced into an early retirement, and he accepts it. He understands it. It ends his 16-year wrestling career,
Mhm.
and it's kind of a sad day for the WWE. Jace, I'll let you talk a little bit more since you know a little bit more about WWE, but was this a sad day for you to see Daniel Bryan
Oh.
go?
Very, very emotional. It was very sad. Because he was a every man wrestler. You know, he's billed at 5'10". I believe he's really only 5'8". So he's like my height. He's not that much bigger. So he's like my size. So he's like he's a smaller guy. They're not supposed to do well. He has done everything. That's why one of the reasons he is so, fine with the retirement is he's done everything already. He headlined a WrestleMania. He has some of the most memorable moments in like wrestling history with like his yes movement and his yes chants, and he's crossed out of wrestling with it when like the Michigan State crowd chanted, like they took the chant and started chanting yes at a game like 2 years ago. You see this, I don't know if it's awareness, but you see the yes, yes, yes everywhere. I feel I said he is a special talent, and like I said, it's unfortunate with that it got cut short because there's still so many like newer wrestlers coming up that WWE just signed recently that we're not going to get matchups for it, and they would be like just awesome. And I said it's really sad because he was so good, and he was like I said, he was not your typical Vince McMahon, like big, bulky wrestler. He was your everyday like guy doing what he loved. He wasn't in it for the money. He wasn't in it for anything but the wrestling. And it was pretty sad. Like the whole scene itself, even if you're not a fan, you could just tell, like you could see it. And like I said, I got choked up a little.
So the fans, I have never seen Twitter be so respectful.
Everyone loved Daniel Bryan.
Twitter is normally a very violent place. I mean, you go there and it's just it's disgusting. Lots of people are evil and mean. When this all happened and you saw how emotional Daniel Bryan was as he was giving his speech, and he goes
such
backstage.
A good speech. God, it's so good.
I mean,
like
even Twitter was nice for about an hour. Twitter was a very nice place. It was warm and welcome, and people were saying good things and being respectful. And then, don't get me wrong, it probably swirled into the toilet after that. But there was a while there where Twitter was actually an acceptable place for human beings to go again. So, I think that's incredibly important. It's really sad for the WWE to lose someone who's such a transformative wrestler,
pop figure.
Very nice.
He's my mic stand, basically.
Yeah. Well,
figure.
Pop.
Yes.
Pop.
Those they're like little collectible figurines. My brother got it for me for Christmas a couple years ago.
Yeah. Huh. Well, speaking of transforming,
the
industry.
Oh, I love the transition though. That was awesome.
Yeah, nice
Michael Bay has just made an announcement this week, along with I don't know where it was announced actually. It was announced to Variety that Michael Bay will be directing 3 more Transformers movies. Transformers 5, 6, and 7. Like we need more of these movies. I actually have an article here. The movies will open on June 23rd, 2017, placing it against Wonder Woman, the same weekend Wonder Woman has been announced. Transformers 6 is set for June 8th, 2018, the same day as Godzilla 2. Transformers 7 is marked for release on June 28th, 2019. So we're getting a Transformers movie in 2017, 2018, and 2019.
Oh, hells yeah.
3 summers in a row.
How lucky can we be?
Yeah, the new Saw movies.
Oh my God! Transformers: Age of Extinction star Mark Wahlberg is expected to return alongside with Michael Bay directing.
Marky Mark, what are you doing, buddy?
Marky Mark is coming back for them all.
I thought he just came in the one for the money. Come on,
Mark.
Oh
my God!
Can you? Like the happening.
Can you imagine? Like I couldn't believe this news. This is stunning to me because. Does anybody care?
Studying?
Well, okay, so unfortunately, globally, Age of Extinction is an incredibly bankable film. They made so much money. But if you go look on at Rotten Tomatoes, I think it's at like 18 or 16% approval on Rotten Tomatoes.
Woo!
Because the
That
movie
low?
is awful. It's terrible. So we're getting 3 more of these trash can films. Why are they making them anymore? This is stupid. I
Money.
can't believe
Get
this.
Money.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh, they're just plowing even further. And Michael Bay, I am very hopeful for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film. Okay, the first one that came out, the turtles' faces looked really weird, but at least the personalities were good. And I'm hopeful that this new Turtles movie will be decent also. But I cannot stand behind him continuing to ruin Transformers.
Well,
Not
we
the
talked about this a little bit, Zach.
We have.
Movie studios, it's just almost like guaranteed money if you can like make a movie about an IP that already exists and people are familiar with. So
Yeah.
it's like, and I'm not saying that Transformers is the best example, but I'm just saying like,
Why can't you let him go ruin something that sucked? Like, why can't he go make a Voltron movie or something?
I've never been a
Ah.
Transformers fan, so it's all.
Well, what's funny, if you go back and watch old Transformers like cartoons, it's all garbage anyway. It's not good. Like those cartoons are awful. They were never good. So what's it matter?
Toys were fun though.
The toys were great, and that's
Toys
what
were
made Transformers cool. But if you go like the TV show is terrible, just like the G.I. Joe TV show is terrible.
Yeah.
were any of the movies good? I'm trying to remember.
Any of the Transformers movies?
Yeah. I hated
No,
Shia LaBeouf just screaming Bumblebee.
no,
the first
man.
couple. It's like, oh,
None of them
this
were
guy.
good at all.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Like,
I mean,
I
Megan
don't
Fox is in
think
a couple of them.
the
fun
first
to
the
look
first
at.
one is awful because in no way can you see what's going on in the action scenes. They were too close. It's all jumbled. The editing is too fast. You can't tell what's going on in number 1 at all.
I'm
Number
pretty sure the
two-
Autobots didn't do anything the first movie. They
No.
got shot at and they kind of like peeked around the corner.
Yeah, and then Jazz gets ripped in half because he's the
R.I.P.
black
Jazz.
Transformers. And
Yep,
then
R.I.P. Jazz.
and then you had Transformers 2, which was just racist, so nobody should watch it, and
What?
it's too long. They had the two
Racist
they had
Transformers?
they had the two
No,
little racist
no,
robots,
get
the two
out.
little black
No.
robots with their gold teeth, and they can't read. They literally say they can't read. It's awful. I love Jason's
okay.
reaction to that. Oh, anyway,
No
that
hard
doesn't
feeling on
matter.
that
We
guy.
don't need to talk about Transformers anymore,
Good.
other than the fact that these movies are freaking coming out. So, goddamn, we're getting more Transformers movies, whether we want them or not. We're getting 3 more in 3 years,
Jeez, that's
Congrats, world. We did
so
it.
Yay.
quick.
and it takes us 15 years to get a proper Final Fantasy game again, and yet we get 3 Transformers movies in freaking 3 years. It's just terrible how time works. Anyway, let's move on. Something we have to talk about. Destiny, one of our favorite games.
Ah.
All 3 of us love this game. And the thing that we've talked about, and our biggest complaint we've had with the game, has finally been talked about. Bungie went and announced that Destiny will have a major expansion that will happen later in 2016, and that Destiny 2 is now slotted for 2017. Like we all knew that Destiny 2 was being pushed back.
It was originally 4 this year, wasn't it?
It totally
2016?
it was, and I still was holding out hope that we were going to get a major expansion this spring, and that we were going to get Destiny 2 this fall. And
The expansion's still coming out this year, though.
the expansion is, but they didn't give us a time frame. Now
Yeah.
they have said that there's a major
October.
update coming to Destiny in the spring, but they didn't necessarily link that to being the expansion pack.
This is going to be a PvE update.
I'm not sure what the update is supposed to happen in the spring, but
It's gotta
by the
be.
looks of it, we're going to get a
It has
major.
to be.
Yeah,
Better be.
by the looks of it, we're getting a major expansion pack this fall, and next year sometime, we're going to be looking at Destiny 2 finally. What do you guys think?
Well, they're going to have to... Well, for the expansion pack, the one that's coming out this year, it's going to have to be good. To
Yep.
get people to blow money on it, because there's so many other good games that are coming out that I would think twice if I'm like knee deep in the division. Or...
Yep. So, question then
You
for
think you're gonna be in the division in the fall?
let's
Well, no, I'm just kind of using
Yeah.
that example because we
I
don't know
know.
when it's coming
yeah.
out.
So let's pose a question here for you, Jace. Destiny 2 does a release date in September for its new expansion pack. Meanwhile, say we don't get the expansion until this fall for Destiny. Is that too long to wait? Because what if we get the Division this in March, like we're getting it, and then they already announced that the first expansion for the Division is now coming out later this fall in the same time frame, say October.
Oh, interesting.
So what happens is now we're all getting into the Division, playing the crap out of the Division.
In theory.
In theory, we're all playing the Division, and then they have a very similar release date for their first expansion pack. Do we really go back to Destiny if we're deep into the Division at that time?
Depends on how good the
too late?
Division is.
Yeah, is it too late maybe then? Is I guess my big question.
Not for me.
Did they wait too long?
Not for me.
What do you think then, Tim?
I'd be happy to jump back in, honestly. I mean,
Yeah.
like our original raid team. I think I'm still wary, though, and I'm going to wait until after it's released to decide if I want to buy it. I'm not just going to buy it day one or do the whole pre-order thing just because the, I'm forgetting the name, like the Dark Below was just such a train wreck as far as, oh, that's it? I think we beat it in like 2 hours.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, we did.
Okay. And so I'm going to wait and just kind of test it to see if it's actually worth the money. Because who knows what they're going to price it at. Hopefully $20, but I mean,
Yeah.
their pricing structure has been a little weird lately.
Well, if they say major expansion and you think maybe
say-
Taken King size,
Yeah.
could it be a $50 expansion? Honestly,
No, because Taken King was only 40.
Oh,
40.
okay. Well, $40. It was $50 if you. No, it was 60.
They
if you
had
bought the full
about
pack.
4 different price points.
Yeah,
on
exactly.
how you
So
could get it.
we paid $40 for Taken King.
if they're
Could you see another $40 expansion?
yeah, but nothing more than
I
that.
paid-
If they're lumping it with Destiny 2, like the same news article,
Yeah.
there's no way they can have this one come out first and have it be like a full-fledged like game as far as $60. I would say $40 tops.
Sure. I don't know. That kind of scares me. We'll have to see. I will, like Jay said, we're also going to have to see if the Division is any good.
Yeah.
If we start playing it and we get 10 hours in and it sucks, all of a sudden we might be sitting around praying for Destiny expansion to come out because we don't
Well, we're
have
gonna-
that game.
We gonna play it next weekend?
I mean-
It is open beta. I am down for playing.
Yeah, because even with Destiny, even though how many hours we put in with Destiny, it came out in September of 2014, and we were already clamoring for more only 3 months later when
Exactly.
The Dark Below came out.
Yep.
And then we were clamoring for more whenever the House of Wolves came out 5 months later. Then we were clamoring for more when Taken King came out 4 months later or whatever.
Yep.
So if the Division's coming out at the beginning of March and they're not releasing anything until September, I mean, there's a very good chance the audience has fallen away from that.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. 8 months isn't a long time though. If we have a September release, it's a long time to go about another 7-8 months before we have more Destiny worth coming back to.
Yeah, because when you text me the other day about the Destiny stuff, like we were going to talk about on the show, and like I said, I wasn't following anything
Yeah.
because I was just hanging out with family.
Yep.
So I wasn't following anything. I barely was even on Twitter. And so I was researching it today. And what I was gathering was I feel like they were trying to get, the Destiny out this year. And that's why they've been quiet. And they finally realized, you know what? It's going to be pushed till next year. So I wonder what this expansion, if it was just like they're actually working on it, or they just like here not too long ago said, like I said, okay, we're not going to get Destiny 2 next year or this year, like if it was earlier this year. It's going in 2017. We have to get something for 2016. And that's why they've been quiet for so long.
Sure.
It's because they were handling logistics.
Trying to figure out what they were going to do for this year.
This year and like release periods and like how far they need to do stuff. So I wonder how long they've been working on this expansion, and like you guys are saying, when it's going to actually come out.
Yeah.
And of course, like the quality of it.
Yep. So
Very interesting stuff. I
man.
want more PvE stuff.
Yep.
I think that's what we all want. I mean, it's
Yeah.
great they're supporting the PvP community still.
And I feel like I did read
But-
something about PvP early. I think Tim mentioned it earlier. They're going to do something with PvP in the spring.
Yeah.
I feel like
There's some update that's coming in the spring, but I don't know if they were specific on any sort of details.
Yeah.
I think that the next expansion will be Cabal centered with a Cabal raid.
Oh, they better, because
have to.
the Cabal right now have been pointless since the original game. You
They
haven't
also
you haven't
have-
seen Cabal at all, except in for House of Wolves.
What about the Fallen?
Well,
They had the Prison of Elders. I mean, like
Oh,
that's
do you count
something.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
Well, the
I'm
Prison
sorry.
of Elders was the
I'm thinking of
focus,
Skolas.
and then there's
What were the raids? It was the Vex.
it was Vex was the main, and then it was
Vex, Hive,
and then Hive
Vex,
slash
Hive.
Fallen.
or a Hive Fall.
I mean, not Hive Fallen, Hive
Taken.
Taken. Yeah.
Man,
But
it's been a while.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want Fallen though. I want Cabal.
I think Destiny
hate
2
Fall. I want
we'll
Fallen.
see like brand new like enemy types.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like
I
a
bet
new
it's
race.
a whole new like solar system or whatever.
Something even
Yeah,
more
Or an
evil.
expanded.
I hope
solar
that
system.
they.
Hopefully it still connects with the one
yeah.
stuff.
I hope so. I hope that they push out beyond the expand. They have to expand out further.
You know what they could still do almost is kind of go back to that maybe not that original story that was like going to come out before that they did the whole reshuffle.
Oh, whenever, yeah, because they
Or
had
like-
a whole thing done, and then shit happened, and they were like, well, we can't do that.
Where it's like the Traveler and the Speaker were actually the enemy or like
Yeah,
part
it
of
is
the enemy.
Yeah, which would have been awesome. I think that plot line would have been
How
so
stereotypical.
freaking cool. But we should move on.
Who you're helping is the.
I really hope that.
times have we seen that?
Yeah, that's true. But it still would have been better than what we got.
Better than what we got.
I don't care about the story at all. Even if it was
yeah.
good, I don't care. The gameplay was so good. That's why I play Destiny. Is gameplay. I don't care about the story.
Hey, I feel
Love
that.
a good story.
I feel that because don't get me wrong. I love a good story too, Tim. But we can go to other things for that. And Destiny was mechanically sound. Even the raids. I mean, the raids are the best part. And who really cares what is the plot of going and doing the King's Fall raid? Like
Killing
tell me the
guy
plot.
who's trying to
You're-
take over the
Yeah,
world.
You're making your way through the ship, and
You're
I
making
guess
your
I have to
way
kill
in the
this
world
guy. I guess I have to kill this guy to go through this door. Oh wait, now there's this other big guy. I guess I better shoot these nutsacks on the ceiling so I can shoot his heart. And then there's a maze for some reason that's not really a maze. And then there's
It is the
a
first
whole
one.
jumpy ass section. Then you kill this dude's daughters, even though you've already murdered his son. And then you get to kill him.
Yeah, that sounds like a sound story to me.
But
I don't know what
it's
you're
not really a
talking
story. It's a progression. You're just making your way through a ship, killing shit.
about. Make a
So
story.
it's not like
If
the
there's no story,
matters.
make the story yourself.
True,
In all
but that's
fairness, that's not part of the campaign. It's just like a challenge.
true. But it's still the best part of the game.
That falls in any game, though.
Well, I'm saying you've got like a lot of games have the campaign, and then they've got like challenges outside of the
Yeah.
campaign.
No, I mean that was to Zach. Is he's like every step of this doesn't apply towards some overarching story, and I'm saying that's a lot of games. Where
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
just like, here's this guy, fight him, kill him. Here's all of these people. Like,
But
who are all
why?
these foot soldier clans in Uncharted? How do they get
How do they pay
hundreds
these
and
many
hundreds of people to come in just to get blasted away?
And they're just hardworking guys providing for their families at home.
Exactly. You wonder how many orphans
but
you
they don't
created.
tell you that. They don't. You just assume that they're just randomly procedurally. That's why you have to entertain
Yeah.
yourself by saying this guy
You do.
got
You
laid
do.
off at the sawmill, and the only way he could make money was to join one of these bad guys. I don't know. their
Single
names.
father, family, or father of two. Boom.
You right? And then Drake's a dick because he shoots him right in the face.
Well, yeah. Speaking
Ooh,
of,
Uncharted 4. There we go.
yeah, speaking of Naughty Dog, Crash Bandicoot. Did you guys hear the Crash Bandicoot news today?
That clap was for the transition, not Crash Bandicoot.
Well, thank you,
Ooh,
Jace.
yeah, another segue. I didn't hear about this actually.
So this was only announced today, and I brought up a story about it here on thanks
Ooh,
to
stories.
IGN. So what the news came from was that a toy company actually might have revealed Naughty Dog's plans in the future. So I don't know what this. And this is what's so funny
Damn
about
you,
how
toy
this
company.
how this works is sometimes it's the dumbest people revealing stuff. So I don't know what this toy is. It NECA? NECA? Whatever.
I'm not sure. I don't have the
NECA Toys director
wafer.
Randy Falk said Sony is bringing back Crash Bandicoot during the New York Toy Fair this weekend. Falk spoke with Pixel Dan about NECA's upcoming products. So this is written by Nicole Carpenter over on IGN. If you want to go find the article, you can actually go over to IGN and find it. It's called NECA Toys. It says, Sony is bringing back Crash Bandicoot. Now, essentially what the guy is saying is that
It's a
Crash
good quote. Do you have the
Bandicoot.
quote?
Pardon?
Do you have the actual quote? It's a pretty good quote. It's funny.
I want the quote, Zach.
Which quote?
Like the
The
quote
quote.
of what he says,
Oh, yeah.
why everyone's like flipping
Yeah.
out. Because
Yeah.
it's not announced. It's
Yes.
not official. Nobody knows if he's there doing it.
Right.
That's
So,
like
yeah.
the preface for this.
So Falk is quoted saying the company has a lot of stuff going on with Sony, and that he continued to praise Sony its titles and said, quote, I see they're bringing Crash Bandicoot back, so there's some great stuff there, unquote.
Holy shit!
Right?
Just like
So
that.
so funny.
literally, this guy who works for this toy company, who they're in talk to make merchandise for, just completely blew Sony's plans of bringing back Crash Bandicoot, which is absolutely freaking
They have to be
hilarious.
so pissed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because whenever you made that, when I saw the list of the rundown today, I hadn't heard anything. I saw Tim Geddes post something about people were emailing him or tweeting him or stuff about Crash Bandicoot, but I thought that was just a regular thing because he loves him so much.
Yeah, and
But
here's the deal.
so
I
my
played
fir-
every Crash game back in the day. It's not that amazing. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering who's going to actually make these games, because there's no way not. I don't
Or
feel
what
like
kind of
Naughty
game
Dog.
it's gonna be.
Yeah, but I don't feel like Naughty Dog would take on this project. There's no way Naughty Dog is making a Crash game.
Because my first reaction to it was, that's way too early. Like there's no way they have something ready. It's too
They're
early
trying
to
to
announce.
for
We're
it.
just gonna have to sit here. That's when I told you I was researching this stuff, because half of this stuff I didn't even know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was researching this Crash Bandicoot thing, and I was like, oh, okay, they haven't announced anything. It was a slip combined with another, what was it? A Sony Middle East,
Yeah.
a partner or whatever.
Yeah.
And they tweeted out or put out a picture of Crash with like the tagline saying like wanted Crash, where are you, or something.
Sure.
Huh.
And this is combined with the fact that Sean Layton wore the Crash Bandicoot shirt at PSX in December.
Which everybody
no
took
words.
as a huge
Then-
troll.
Yeah, no words whatsoever, except he said you wanted me to show Crash today or whatever, and yeah, that was a total troll.
It was.
But it could have been easily a preface for like what's to come, like foreshadowing or whatever. So I mean, it's a lot of combination of stuff for the guess, but I think it's a safe guess. It would, if it's total fan service, if it is.
Yeah, I can see this coming back. I feel like it's also been handed over to a smaller studio, and it will come out. I think, Tim, to answer, like, you asked what type of game you think it's going to be, and I'd love to hear what you think it's going to be. I think it's going to be made as a lower budget game. It'll be made very similar to what the originals are made like, and it will come out as more of a smaller. It's not going to be indie because it won't be made by an indie studio, but it will be a smaller, digital only, like $40 style game. It'll come out. It won't be a $60 game. I think it'll be a smaller thing that we get that'll be very similar to what the original types games were. I don't think it's going to come out as a full AAA Crash Bandicoot game.
I think that are going to do a full reboot.
You think so?
Yeah.
What do you think, Tim?
You think that would work though?
I don't know. How would you reboot it? Is he just going to still have his only attack be that he spins around real fast
Whirlwind.
and knocks skunks off the screen?
Well, I
It could be
didn't
more
say
like-
a remake. I said a reboot.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an up-res, more polygon thing or
Yeah.
anything. It's going to be kind of what Square is doing with Final Fantasy VII.
Sure. But how
Maybe
do you...
not to the extent,
Maybe
but
more
it's
like
but it's
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot, which
But-
is a known
Like
PlayStation like name. They're not going to sell that for $40.
Sure. But how do
like
you
a
see them
Ratchet and
making...
Clank platformer?
How do you see them making a full AAA style game? Like, what are they going to do? How are they going to make it? How are they going to make it interesting if they reboot that game?
I don't know. I've never been interested in the first place. So.
Okay, fair enough. Because that's what I
I don't
think.
even know what type of game it is.
So here's the deal. Crash is a 3D platformer, but it's not like Ratchet and Clank, because Ratchet and Clank have guns, and you can do
No,
crazy
I'm saying
stuff
like
with that.
it might be rebooted to that type of game where it's kind of like I don't want to say free roaming, but you've got those like environments where it's, you're still enclosed.
Yeah.
You still have to go a certain way, so it's platforming to a sense.
Yeah. It just worries me. We're seeing things come out like this Kickstarter game that happened, Ukulele,
I'm
and
so excited for ukulele.
like
I want so bad.
it's interesting, but are we going to be over those type of games, or is it
No.
just going to feel amazing to play a 3D platformer again?
Yes.
Like, it will be weird, but if we went to playing a Crash Bandicoot style game, I don't feel like they could do enough with it mechanically that wouldn't feel too far away from what Crash is to justify a AAA game. I think it's going to have to come in lower.
The fact that it has Crash Bandicoot in the name is why it will be a full-blown release.
Okay.
For $60?
I don't know.
Unless they do it digital only and they do 50.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I'm really interested to see this. I hope it comes to fruition. I really don't think, though, that there's no time that they would announce anything like this until maybe E3. So we're not looking until midsummer that we potentially are going to hear anything else about Crash. Because this happened, I'm thinking they're even going to close their lips even more, too. So they're going to keep this shit under wraps. We're not going to hear anything else about this for a while. Well, we're going to have to move on from Crash. I don't have a spiffy segue this time. But I want to kind of switch over to YouTube.
This is the best one yet.
Yeah, I know. Woohoo! I'm really good at transitioning.
Speaking of crashing, how about that?
Speaking of crashing and burning,
terrible.
Let's talk about YouTube Red and why I think it will crash into the fucking wall.
The internet wall.
The internet wall. It will not work in the long run. But right now, it's pretty cool for one and one reason only.
How about you explain that YouTube Red is there is
okay, so let me I feel like we're gonna go a little over time tonight. I hope that doesn't bother you guys. We were 8 minutes away from the end of the show, but we have a couple topics.
We don't have that much left.
Yeah, we have only a couple topics. We'll try to do these last ones quickly.
I just don't know how much we can cover this YouTube thing.
I'll explain a little bit what it is. So what YouTube Red is it's the subscription service that has now happened for YouTube. It works like Hulu Plus. Yeah, almost exactly like Hulu Plus. Hulu. So the reason it's like that is because you pay $10 a month for it, and you don't have to watch any ads anymore on YouTube. So you make
$10 a month.
It's $10 a month.
Jeez.
And it goes ad free, and there's also exclusive content that you only can get on YouTube Red. Now, I do have another article here to pull up and talk about some of the things that are exclusive to YouTube Red at the moment. So the first thing there is it's Scare PewDiePie. Now, PewDiePie has done this thing where he's wrangled up a bunch of his buddies, his YouTube friends, his empire, if you will, and he's starting his own little YouTube gang that he's going to try to use to take over the internet and all of our lives. And this is one of the biggest content makers. So what he does, PewDiePie got famous getting scared with horror games. So what he did is he got all of his buddies together and a shit ton of money that he made and made a live-action Scare PewDiePie event. Okay? So every week a new episode comes out and PewDiePie goes through situations that are supposed to scare him. It's like haunted houses, essentially. And they filmed him and you watch him go through. So this... Right now, there's episode 1 of Scare PewDiePie on YouTube Red. That's an exclusive content thing. It's 25 minutes long. I watched it. Pretty stupid.
That's not what I expect.
So, that's Scare PewDiePie. There's also a documentary that has with some other girl that is on YouTube. I don't even remember who she is. I know she's pretty famous. But it's called A Trip to Unicorn Island, which is right up my alley. There's a teen musical called Dance Camp that will have a new episode coming out every week, and it's like an hour and a half long. And then they have a full-length movie on there. It's the Rooster Teeth film Laser Team.
So what I'm hearing from this, $10 a month, but I mean what they have right now, I can watch all the content in probably like half a day?
Easily. Because Scare PewDiePie was 25 minutes, Trip to Unicorn Island is an hour and a half, Teen Musical Dance Camp is an hour and a half, and Laser Team is an hour and a half.
Why did they just do this? So, I mean...
So, the big thing about it is it's about taking... So what happens... The reason this is happening is because a bunch of people who have a shit ton of YouTube subscribers are getting pissed that they're not getting enough money because of ad block. Now, ad block is something that you trigger it on your computer and it skips the ads for you on YouTube anyway. And because of that, it doesn't pay the content creators. So in order to get around that, they've come up with YouTube Red, where you pay for a subscription service and it cuts the ads. Well, guess what? It's not going to cut down on ad block. Everybody who uses ad block is just never going to use YouTube Red. Now, there are other features of YouTube Red that make it a little better. One of them is that you can now listen to YouTube in the background. So when you're on your phone and when you're watching a YouTube video, if you press the home button, it will shut off your YouTube video. You can no longer hear the audio from your video. But now, when you press home, it will play YouTube in the background. Now, this is kind of bullshit because this should be a free feature, and this is really rudimentary, and everybody should have this. Almost every app already gives this to you for free, so this is kind of stupid, and they shouldn't make this behind a paywall. Then one of the other things is, there's another thing to it too, which I'm already forgetting. Either way, it doesn't matter. I just don't think YouTube. It doesn't.
Sounds like a steal.
Here's the deal. Yeah, because what I'm saying is, it's not enough. This is not enough. Now, I will say that Laser Team is completely worth watching. Laser Team is awesome. Now, Laser Team is a movie that was created by Rooster Teeth. It's a Rooster Teeth original. Rooster Teeth is the company that did Red vs. Blue. That's kind of what made them famous.
Gotcha.
And they're now a massive company. The movie it's a B sci-fi film. It's hokey, it's corny, and it's glorious. It's absolutely hilarious. Everybody gets a free month of YouTube Red. So there's no reason to not go sign up for it, watch the content that's there now, and laugh at it, and then go and say that you're going to quit YouTube Red once your month is over.
This makes me want to wait, though, until there's enough content to make my 30-day trial worth it.
I don't know if that 30-day trial is going to carry over. It might just go away after this first month. I bet they're trying to get you to go and sign up for it month one. It may not give you that promo after first time.
They're like any other subscription service. It'll be for new account sign-ins all the time. Because I've done WWE Network with 3 different emails.
So. Nice. Well, that's freaking
Take it
awesome.
easy there, Jace.
So,
it's got this serious look.
Right. Either way, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, YouTube Red. The only thing that was honestly on there that is worth doing is Laser Team. And I recommend everybody go watch Laser Team. It's totally worth it. Take the hour and a half. I made my wife watch it, and my wife even laughed the entire time.
Is it legit funny, or is it funny as a Rooster Teeth fan? Are you a Rooster Teeth fan?
I am a Rooster Teeth fan. Here's the deal. I laughed at it a lot more than my wife did. But that's because I got inside jokes.
I'm a moderate to low Rooster Teeth.
Okay.
Like I said, I listen to when I listen to a lot of podcasts, I listen to The Patch all the time. And I listen to their maybe it's just the Rooster Teeth podcast. So yeah. I'm exposed to some of them, and I like them. They're funny and whatnot. I just didn't know if it was going to be legit funny. Not the question isn't even for me. It's for everybody else.
Sure.
Is is it going to be funny for them if they don't know who Rooster Teeth is?
Right. I think so, because my wife doesn't care about Rooster Teeth. My wife wouldn't give 2 shits about Laser Team, honestly. But I had her sit down and watch it with me, and she ended up laughing through the vast majority of the film.
Okay.
Which is good, because she had no connection to it. I laughed a little more only because I did recognize people from the podcast. I recognized people from some of the other shows that they do. So I had a great time watching it. But, like I said, she loved it too. It's totally worth it.
Okay.
YouTube Red. I don't think it's worth $10 a month, but go get your free trial version and decide for yourself. And tweet at me at the Gaming Hutch and tell me what you think of YouTube Red.
I thought you were going to say YouTube Red is a thing.
Come to my
YouTube
YouTube
Red.
Red channel.
You want to know what's really bad? I hope that somebody says like YouTube Red to their parents, and then the parent completely gets confused and types in like RedTube, because RedTube is a porn site.
Sure is.
And I hope that happens to
I'm sure it
many
has.
people.
Like I said, it's so scandalistic. RedTube.
RedTube is a porn site.
Guys.
Be cautious. Not safe for work, everybody.
Be careful.
Oh. I want to thank some people who have jumped in our chat also. Thanks for enjoying the show. Start queuing up some questions. We will be fielding questions here in just a few minutes. We have one topic left that I want to cover, and then we'll take some questions from the audience, and then we'll wrap up the show. The last little thing I wanted to talk about is back to the gaming side, and it has to do with Microsoft and its decisions on gaming exclusivity. Now, to talk about this, it's all about Quantum Break, and I want to talk about all them baby Xbox players out there whining their pants off, because I was not going to get to play Quantum Break. You should be happy that we are going to support your game that is on your console and it's not on the other person's console, and it is going to get them more money, and it will maybe allow them to make their Alan Wake game or that bullshit that you've been waiting for, because you have no good things that you can sit around and wait for. You have to whine and bullshit about Alan Wake. So, stop whining. I'm going to buy Quantum Break on Steam, and I'm really happy about it.
Quantum Break's not coming to Steam.
Well, not Steam. I'm going to buy it on PC, whatever.
Microsoft Store.
Microsoft Store. I will buy it from the Microsoft Store, and I will play the game because now I can. So essentially, here's the news. I just ranted for a while.
Rant.
The news is that on the same day that the Xbox One version of Quantum Break comes out, Microsoft will also release it on the Microsoft Store, available on PC. So it is no longer an exclusive to Xbox One. It is a console exclusive, but it is not an exclusive anymore. What do you guys think? Should this matter? Because to me, I love it. I now get to play this game.
No surprise here. Microsoft owns Xbox. I mean, give me a break. Of course, they're going to bring it on the computer if they can. That's like so much more money for them. There's no reason for Microsoft to leave it a console exclusive.
I agree with you, man. And then when the Xbox One is already super close to what a PC is, so they're practically developing it for the same thing because of how the hardware is now. So why would you not move it over to the console? I mean, to the PC when you're already essentially doing that. What do you think, Jace? I know we got to move on to some other stuff. I don't want to necessarily sit on this for too long.
I said it makes sense to me. Not being, but I can see why, like, maybe the Xbox One users are butthurt by it, just because, you know, that's one less little like thing that they can't gloat about, like, oh, we are the only ones who can play Quantum Break, which honestly I don't know how much of a bragging right that is.
I know.
Like I said, it makes sense, and then you guys are saying it's Microsoft, and it's not like they're putting it on Steam. It's still in-house at Microsoft, so it's a Microsoft exclusive.
Yeah.
It's just on the two different platforms.
Yeah, it was a slip of the tongue for me to say Steam.
No, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's a big deal. It's not the first time they've done it with Xbox exclusives. We've had Halo on PC, maybe not at launch time, but like I said, it's like you mentioned, people are crying about it. I don't see any reason why. Like I said, other than just that's one less fanboy.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a non-issue.
Yeah, I'm very happy about it. I can't believe that it even came out and was a thing. Seemed absolutely ridiculous. Well, there's a few things still to cover. Walking Dead is back. I don't watch Walking Dead, but Jace, you love it. You excited that the show is back?
Yeah, and it's about to get fucking crazy. So.
Yeah, my wife is very happy.
Yeah.
It's
There's
back
a character
also.
named, I think it's Negan. I've not read the comics. I don't know anything, but I hear Negan's fun. And that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I quit watching The Walking Dead a long time ago. I got over what the show was. Tim, have you even ever watched it at all?
I think I've seen an episode or two.
Okay. So, as you can see, we're the Walking Dead experts, but it is news.
Yes.
It's back. Hey, dude, I'll get to the comments here in just a little bit. We're almost finished
I think
wrapping up some news. The last thing, Kanye dropped his new album.
Kanye.
So I guess if we want to talk about music for 2 seconds, I also don't listen to Kanye, but Jace, you're
Life
a
is
huge
Pablo.
fan.
That's
So
the name of the album, streaming exclusively on. I have to even look what title.
YouTube Red.
title, YouTube Red,
YouTube Red. But yeah, it's
or you can go to Hastings.
it's fun. It's different. No.
Yes. Where's that Hastings plug at?
So when I was in Lawrence this earlier this week, I went by Hastings and I picked up this little book here.
Oh my!
It's the Mega Man tribute. It's made up of a bunch of different fan arts that people submitted, and it's different concepts and ideas centered around Mega Man, and mostly the 1 through 10 in the series. And it's fucking amazing. I love this book.
Well,
And like I said, all it is fan art.
Yep.
But that's my Hastings plug. That's where I got it.
Yep, shameless Hastings plug. It happens once a show. All right, guys, we're gonna move into the comments here. We've had a couple people asking us a few questions. Jace, this first one's gonna be directed at you. It's from that Josh is Beast 21. Josh is Beast. All right, he asks, "What's the best gun?" Or I'm gonna ask you your favorite gun in Black Ops 3. You're the only one who plays
I
blocks.
believe it's called the XR2. It's a 3-burst rifle, and I have it decked out
Well, I'm sold.
where all of the it shoots harder, faster, straighter, and further. But at
That's what she said.
at the detriment of no grenades, no secondary gun, and no traits. It's just straight gun. It's fun. That's
All
my
right.
favorite gun on it.
Well, fair enough. I have not played a Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 2, so I would not have a single clue what you're even talking about.
You don't know what a three round burst gun is?
No, I get your
Three-round
description.
burst?
To
Just
trees?
3 shots and one trigger.
Yeah, brap, brap, brap.
There you go. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Dark Skull 459, I guess, asked, "Have you ever played Ark Survival Evolved? It's a PC game. I think it's still in like weird
it's
beta.
on Xbox One also.
Is it? Is that an actual?
I believe it's been actually released.
It is an actual release now.
I could be wrong. That could be Xbox One beta too, but it is on Xbox One and PC now. I have a couple buddies who keep trying to get me to get it, and I'm just like, eh.
What kind of game is it?
It's kind of it's open world, like
Open world survival type.
survival. Yeah, where dinosaurs and like
You're like a caveman.
material gathering and
I don't know. Like you try to build rudimentary weapons and you try to
And you build
can
up.
wrangle dinosaurs so that you can ride them.
Yep.
And you have to build fires at night and animals will randomly attack you. It's like
That sounds awesome.
it's like an open world survival weird prehistoric game.
Yeah, kind of in the vein of DayZ or
But
H1Z1.
I also heard and I've
a little
seen
bit of Minecraft.
it I still think it's in that early pre-access or whatever.
I said it might
Because
be.
it might still be an early access because I think it looks still like shit and it runs like garbage.
Because
So,
I know they did put it on at a discount. So if you get it at the the early access discount, you don't have to pay the full price when it comes out for realsies.
Yeah,
I think it's supposed to come to PS4 too whenever it comes out for realsies.
Yeah. So I'm unsure. Those were the questions that we had queued up. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to relay it to us. We're gonna start sort of closing down the show though. The last thing before we go, I guess I want to just ask what you guys have been playing for the last 2 weeks before we close down and send off.
Good
Jace, what have you been playing?
Skyrim on the PS3.
I saw that. You going back, you got the platinum trophy, I saw.
Went back working on trophies. I got the platinum. I finished 2 of the DLCs. The third one, like I said, it got cut short because I had to go to St. Louis during this week, so I haven't done a lot of gaming this week. I don't think I've played anything since Tuesday.
Sure.
So
Since Kanye.
Since Kanye.
no, Kanye just came out today.
Yeah, you've been doing your
Oh.
Kanye best, your Kanye vest all week. While you're taking your Kanye quest.
Ooh,
Anyway,
I
Tim,
did
what have
watch
you
the
been
stream
playing?
of Kanye Quest.
I started and finished the infamous Second Son. Overdue to play that, but I got it on sale, so I finally got it.
Hot dang, you played through the whole game already?
Yeah, it's
Good
pretty
or
fun.
evil? Gotta ask.
Good. I'll
Of
go through
course.
next time and do evil.
Yep, that's how
See,
I always do
I need
too.
to go through a second time and do good on hard to get.
You
That
can-
would finish the trophies. for that.
Extreme.
It
Not
only
hard,
it only takes
extreme.
two playthroughs to play to get the platinum trophy in that game. So it's
Mhm.
completely
And I've
doable.
done it once with bad characters, which I hear doing bad on hard is easier because you can just be as reckless as you want.
Right.
Oh, good
So-
idea.
Yeah. So this week I pretty much have been playing XCOM 2 exclusively. Once I got it, it took over my life. I love it. It's really good. Grid RPG. Super cool. I keep dying and then having to restart. It's frustrating as shit. I
That's
went and I
not-
streamed
that's
it
breaking
on
the game.
Tuesday. I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to stream after the show tonight. It may be XCOM 2. I will have my choice made up when I come back at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. So you guys will see what I play. Maybe XCOM 2, maybe not. One final question before we wrap up, and then we will say the show's over for the week. Dark Skull 459 asks, what is your favorite or best gaming DLC and why?
See, I saw that and I've been like thinking. trying
Yeah,
to come up with
That's
something.
a great question.
That is a great question. Best.
Tim, do you have an answer? Do you have a one that pops into your mind right away?
Let me
Because
think about it for a little
I
bit.
typically don't like DLC.
Sure. No, I can respect
So
that.
I
it's
don't
like
trust DLC.
It's tough, yeah. Because usually it comes out after I'm not invested in the game anymore, and
Sure.
I'm done. So I going in and dipping. Like I said, so I really liked King's Fall, even though some claim it wasn't enough.
Mhm.
I said
Or-
it was
or
still
that-
really fun. What it was, it was still really fun. It opened up the game, made it easier for new people to come in. Yeah, see, he just said Dragonborn, and like I said,
can
I
respect-
finished that one. And it was okay. It was better than I remembered it, because when I went back into Skyrim, I was saved in the middle of that Dragonborn DLC, and I remember quitting because I just wanted to get done with it.
Sure.
And but I was right in the middle of doing it, and I don't know, because like I said, that was like 3 years ago. My save was from March 5th, 2013 or something. So it was pretty exciting.
Yeah. Well, I never beat that. Tim, you've been able to think of your DLC?
Well, my problem is kind of like what Jason's saying. I don't buy a lot of DLC
Sure.
because by the time it comes out, I've moved on to another game,
Yeah.
and it would take something special for me to buy content for a game I've already played a lot. But I did like the what was it called? The King's Fall. Was
For-
that?
The King's Fall for Destiny.
For
Yeah.
Destiny.
Was that the
Yeah,
final
from-
one? Was that what
Or,
it's called?
So yeah, that's
Taken
what-
King.
that's
King's
Taken
Fall is
King,
the
there it
raid.
is.
Taken King. Yeah, touche.
There it is. But I also really liked the Hearts of Stone expansion for The Witcher 3. That brought me back.
Sure.
So those are probably
And
my
I'm,
two
look-
favorites.
and I'm looking forward to what they're going to do with Fallout 4.
Yeah. So I'm completely going to cheat on mine, and my answer is going to be Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. I love Far
Okay.
Cry 3, and yes,
Yeah.
it is a standalone game. You don't even have to have owned Far Cry 3. But because of the way they set it up and the way they do the tutorial and they unlock all of your abilities right away, it felt like a DLC with just a massive twist. And that is amazing. Blood Dragon is great stuff. If
That
you've
was
never
good.
played Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, go and
It was
Play
free
it.
on Plus a couple months ago.
it
for
was.
PS3.
Hopefully you picked it up if you had PlayStation Plus.
I did get it. I haven't played it yet though.
Yeah, well, guys, that was HutchCast episode 4. We had a great week. We've been talking about. Did I say episode 4? Yeah.
I was
We
just
had I saw. Yeah.
backing you
So
up.
we had a great week. We talked about all of the entertainment news that
Lots
we
of
had
stuff.
missed in the last few weeks, including we had all seen Deadpool, Batman vs Superman. talked about Crash Bandicoot, Destiny expansions. I even spent some time telling you guys about YouTube Red. I had a great time this week. Thank you for joining me, Jace and Tim. Jace, where can we find you on the internet?
At Jace Plays Games. Literally anywhere now. The Instagram is back up. Remade the Instagram. There's actually a Facebook now that doesn't have anything on there. Twitter, Twitch, at Jace Plays Games, if you want to see what I'm doing.
There you go. Tim, thank you for joining me this week. Also, we can't find you on the internet because you're a weird recluse who dates my sister.
That's right.
So if you want to actually know what Tim's up to, go find him on the PlayStation Network, Sneaky Protestant. Send him a friend request and tell him who you are and why you are coming to see what he is playing. So you can go friend him and see what games he's playing that week. I am Zach, aka The Gaming Hutch. You can find me online, Twitter at The Gaming Hutch, Instagram at The Gaming Hutch. Even on YouTube now, you can go find us. Search The Gaming Hutch, search for HutchCast Live. Every episode of HutchCast Live gets moved over to YouTube, so I will have that over there.
Have we figured out how to get it on iTunes yet?
I have not figured out how to get on iTunes yet. I will be working on how to get the podcast onto iTunes.
I'm going to ask you that every week.
Yep, and I am working on it.
You said something about
an introduction too,
where you have to get some information from like your settings page, and it's like, well, I don't have access to his settings, so I can't get that number.
Well, I will work on getting the podcast onto iTunes also. So thank you. This has been another episode of HutchCast Live. I am the Gaming Hutch, your host. Joining me was Jace and Tim. We had a great episode. Thank you for watching. Peace. Over here, we be out.
Bye.
Laters.